us to be environmentally aware, we must
Garnet, then
understand
Damien,
how
then
our
me.
behavior impacts the environment and commit to making a
Mhm.
change.
How wonderful. Jamaica's beauty is.
Our duty.
Ah, I feel like a Cub Scout. I feel like I'm back in primary school. Wonderful. Interesting all the action and work that has been happening in Falmouth. Thank you so much for those greetings. And let us get into our chatting and talking and presenting and hearing questions from the world as, as we talk about our waste separation. So we're going to start with the man of the moment, Garnet Edmondson, somebody I've known in and around Montego Bay for years and years. So we're going to just give you the floor for you to bring your thoughts, your comments on behalf of WPM Waste Management Limited, Western Parks and Markets, that is. So you have a few minutes on the floor, and then we're going to just have everyone give their thoughts. Damien King, you'll be next. So prepare yourself, please. Take it away, Gar.
Thank you, Natasha. Morning, everyone. Um, it's a pleasure for us at WPM to be hosting this webinar. We consider it a educational program to have persons, make persons more aware of the harm that plastic does and also the opportunities that are there to dispose of their plastics properly. The WPM Waste Management Limited over maybe around 3 years, have been looking into how we can reduce the amount of waste that goes to the landfill. And part of this program is to do so. Persons might wonder, why would we want to reduce the amount of waste that goes to a landfill? Now, a landfill is a final disposal. And very importantly, if we should have a final disposal, and let us say call it a jar, and that jar has so much capacity and no more. Now, if the jar has the ability to what we call decompose some of its contents, it means that we'd want to ensure active decomposition. Now, plastics take many years. It takes many years to decompose, a lifetime in some cases, and also give off harmful chemicals. Now, for a landfill to properly decompose, there's some amount of microorganisms that must live in the landfill, and plastic does not support these microorganisms. Now, also, as Councillor Murray said in his opening, in his greetings, that recently we had flood rains and our gullies came washing down. And the reason for this was the amount of plastics that are left out there uncollected. Now, seeing all these things, we, 3 years ago, we wanted to do something for Valentine's Day. And generally we'd give all the ladies in the office rose. Not that we stopped doing so, but we but we decided that we'd want to do something in a broader sense, something that will impact Montego Bay, Western Jamaica, and immediately say, why don't we show love to the environment? And that's how the team came up for the love of the environment. And immediately we wanted to bring in some young minds, because we believe that if we can change these minds, how they operate, how they see disposal of garbage. And as a former teacher, I believe that give me a dozen healthy infants in my prescribed environment, and I will turn them into anything I want. Now, we started out with schools, and we chose 3 schools, and we were surprised to see the caliber of work that came out of these schools. And immediately, one of a company in Montego Bay, Concentric, came on board, and they supported the initiative. And we had a ball in Sam Sharp Square for the final day, where persons carry over some 5,000 pounds of plastics to us, where the school show off their talent, where persons in the community brought out reuse plastic, what they use it to do, artwork. The school show their craft work. Now, this is the kind of partnership that we encourage in Western Jamaica. A matter of fact, Councillor know all too well that we communicate via WhatsApp group. We don't hide anything, whether it is going bad or good, it is out there. And several times we get our bashing from our councillors, but I tell you, we always say, any criticism is good criticism for us, because it allows us to grow. And we have seen where WPM have grown over the last 3-4 years. Remember, there was a time in some shops where at 12 o'clock we'd have garbage and papers blowing all over the place. Now, it is not just due to the hard work of the men and women, the sweepers, the collectors of WPM, right, or a regional manager, but it is also the dedication of the citizenry around Montego Bay that has decided that with WPM, we are going to partner. We are going to have a clean city. And this is why you see I'm boasting my clean city logo here now, where you see WPM creating a clean city. And that's what we want to do. In the next couple of months, Natasha, when you drive down Alice Elimaya Drive, you will not miss our signs out there. Some signs will say, what did you do with your garbage today? Did you take the plastics out of your waste? So we are going to put small messages that appeal to you, that left a mark on your conscience every day. How did you do? before I close, there's one thing I want to talk about that is most important. Many times we traverse our roadways and we see what we call non-compactables, white waste, the old fridge, the mattresses, you name it. We're saying, and I'm appealing to our residents, we're saying, look here, call us. We are on Facebook, we are on IG. If you don't know how to use it, just check your son or daughter. They know everything about it, right? And and also link up with your community association, right? And call the parish council, reach out to your councillor, bother them. That's why you vote for them, to bother them every single day. Tell them that, look here, the community is overflowing with bulky waste. WPM need to do something about it. And of course, we're not saying that we have all the resources in the world, because we are short on resources. But we do understand the cry, and we do understand the need, and we don't want them on our roadways. We boast a tourism product in Jamaica here, and all of us must protect this tourism product. That is our bread basket. And when persons visit from abroad, they must see lovely roadways, they must see greenery, they must see this nice, they must get good air, they must want to come back. Very day that they leave, the plane should want to turn around with them. So we want you to help us and just call into us to say, we have these bulky waste, and we will try our best to come in and get them.
But I've never been so moved and excited about waste and separation and garbage trucks and sanitation workers. Garnet, just lovely. I love the plea that you're giving to us as citizens to come out and be a part of what's happening. It's not just for you to go behind us as citizens of Montego Bay. Fantastic partnership with schools, and I love the jar analogy, which really shows, you can really picture what's happening up there at Retirement Dump. Wonderful, lovely presentation. Thank you. Dr. King, if you're ready for us there in Zoom land, we'd love to hear your 3 to 5 minutes, your thoughts on waste separation. Dr. King from Recycling Partners of Jamaica, he's the chairman, and he's going to be presenting. And after him, we'll go with Olivia Anderson. Hi, Dr. King. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Most times we talk about the environment, same way we talk about the food. Like, it is this other thing that is disconnected from it that we need to do a favor for, that we need to sacrifice to help us. And this gives us the pressure that we can opt out of it, that we can look after, our own interest in a narrow way. And so some of us can think environmentally, and some of us can think not environmentally. What you need to be aware of is that,
or the environment is your backyard. If when you had a plastic bottle to dispose of, you simply threw it out your window and it ended up in your own backyard, then the problem would be clear and obvious to you.
environment. And you tend to think of it as something out there. So just fantastic. The environment is our backyard. That bottle is coming back to us. And really great things that you've said are really making us think about things differently. Rain and flooding is not the problem. It's how we dispose of the waste that is the problem. So thank you. Thank you so much for your opening comments. And we move along to Olivia, and then Charlinda, you'll be coming next. Olivia Anderson is the Manager of Public Education and Corporate Communications at the National Environment and Planning Agency, fondly known as NEPA. Olivia, take it away, please.
Thank you so much, Natasha. I'm so glad to be here this morning as a daughter of the West. I'm from Westmoreland, born and raised, so I have to shout out to the West. So I'm in the right place, Mr. Edmondson. And we're also very thankful to you and your team because we have worked together on so many plastic reduction initiatives. Your team has walked with us through the length and breadth of WPM in SAV. Everywhere we go, we're right there with NSWME, and I must give you great kudos for that. I'm also very heartened to hear of the work that the RPJ as well as the WPM has been doing in the area, and I'm so proud of all of you. One thing that stands out for me as we are celebrating National Environmental Awareness Week this week is we want for all Jamaicans to see that your environment is your responsibility, because a healthy environment equals a better life. And if we don't do the right thing where it concerns the disposal of our plastics, we will have more than a solid waste problem, more than a flooding problem. We'll have also health challenges. So as Dr. King said, the environment is not abstract. It's right in your backyard. It's right at your window. It's right on the road. And so from NEPA, we're encouraging each Jamaican to take responsibility of their waste. It is yours. You drink the Pepsi. Take responsibility for it. You buy the juice. Take responsibility for it. So we always are saying as a country that cleanliness is next to godliness. And at this time, we need to live that. We don't just need to say it. It's not something just catchy. We need to live it. So we're encouraging persons to do that. Because that's the only way, if you take responsibility, that's the only way we can deal with this plastic monster. Thank you.
Wonderful. Whoop, a plastic monster. Do you see that the teacher coming out in so many, whether it's the teacher training, the past teacher coming out and teaching us some lessons here. We are responsible, right? If we drink it, we need to think about how we are separating and placing it. And, thank you so much, Olivia. Props to the partnerships of everyone around the table, in the room, in the West here. WPM and all acronyms are coming out, so just stay with me. NEPA, WPM, Mobile Marine Park, everybody that comes together to really make this happen. But I think what you're saying also, the community, the citizens of Jamaica, is our... What's that?
People and partnerships.
People and partnerships. Wonderful. Thank you. And we would love to hear from Charlinda Forrester now, my co-mermaid in the oceans of Montego Bay, who is the Education and Outreach Officer of the Montego Bay Marine Park Trust. Charlinda, could we have your opening comments, please?
Well, I just want to say thank you all for inviting me to this. Montego Bay Marine Park is so very excited to be a part of this because our core mandate is really for the environment, especially plastic waste ending up in our oceans, right? So I just want to say that Dr. King, Olivia, Mr. Garnett, you all summarized basically what we're about and what we really need to do as a nation. But I also want to put in addition to that, that when we think about plastic waste or plastic-related waste entering into the marine area, it's not just the environmentalists and the marine biologists' business, it's everyone's responsibility. So, as Dr. King said, it's gonna come back to you on a Sunday morning at the beach, right? So, when we look in what we are observing in the marine life, we see a lot of entanglement or entrapment of plastics with interacting with our marine animals, right? And that is really coming out when we see turtles, for example. They think that the the poly plastic that we love so much and that we are replacing now, since we're not using the scandal bag, quote unquote, we're now taking up the poly bags. Those really are really invisible in a sense when it hits the waterways, mistaken for food by many marine animals. The little candy pieces, those are taken up by birds, turtles, fish, whatever you can think of in the marine way. They're taking that up and consuming it, and by way of the environment is ending up on our plate, right? So it's not something far-fetched. It's going in the environment and it's coming back on our Sunday dinner, in our fish and everything. So I just want to say it's our business and we need to make it everybody's business, not just it's the marine park or it's WMP or it's that environmentalist over there. It's everybody's business, right?
Lovely, Charlinda. And as the resident mermaid, you know, when we go down, I remember when we went on one of the first underwater cleanups since COVID, since lockdown, and so sadly for me, you were on the boat, we were all in there, the first thing I collected was actually a mask. So now we're gonna have a whole nother problem with masks, this gloves, etc. And again, the visual of my lovely fried fish dinner full of microplastics, you know, that's not what we want either. And again, the general theme, what I'm hearing from all our speakers this morning, it's not, you know, we can't point and say it's somebody's fault. It's, oh, the environmentalists will take care of it. Oh, this company, Marine Park, they're responsible for them things there. It is all of us thinking about it from the beginning. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we have JIS who are providing the technical support for the webinar this morning. If you're ready with a video, we have a video of the bins that have been placed by Recycle Partners of Jamaica. Again, one at Texaco in Fairview and the other one in Falmouth, which load up your vehicles, bring it in taxi, bus, car, however you travel, and you can bring your plastic bottles and put them in those locations. All right, so we're going to host a few questions. We have about 20 minutes left. There were a few questions submitted prior to, and we're going to look and see what we have submitted also. But I'm going to ask Dr. King, if you are ready in Zoom land, we're going to ask a couple of the questions that were sent that are in your area. If you could just quickly answer one or two of those, and then Garnet will go to you. But you know, anyone who has something to add as we're going along, and if you have the same to say, we can just leave that and move to our next question because there are a number. So Damien, are you there? Can you hear?
It's very difficult to dispose of your bulky items. I know in terms of communities that have maybe 1,500 households, it may seem very difficult. But one strategy that we have used so far that works is the whole business of getting the information out to persons, whether via social media, whether via town crier, or by their citizen association. And what we try to do sometimes is, let's use for Bogue Village in particular. They have a community center that sits on a massive piece of land. And we say to them, this week, Thursday to Saturday, we are going to drop a roll-off container there. And whatever bulky waste you have, take it to the roll-off container. It is going, as soon as, if you can fill it on Friday, we are going to take it out. Thursday, we're going to take it and put it back. So it will be there for 2 days.
Excellent.
So that means it reduces us traversing the community, just those persons who have the bulky waste, right? For the other communities that are not so well laid out, every now and again, we are inside there with tipper trucks to take out the bulky waste. And of course, they have to be transported to our landfill at a safe location, whether we are going to be burying them or crushing them or, you know, that type of thing. But we are ready to take out your bulky waste as long as you can contact us to say whatever community.
Come in.
Right.
So what I'm hearing is basically if we get together as communities and talk to each other, okay, what do we have? Do we have a lot of plastics? Do we have a lot of large? and then we contact you as a company and you'll arrange to be there.
Absolutely.
Lovely. I never knew that, so that's fantastic. So citizens associations, neighborhood watches, and I think with schools being, you know, person not going to schools, schools used to be a great way of getting a lot of information out and about to communities. But because people haven't been going into school, it's been a bit more challenging. But lovely, you will be on call, on speed dial. But and I follow WPM on Instagram, and I love to see, you know, on a Labor Day the team is out there. They're engaging with the community members. Wonderful to hear. Olivia, you ready for a question, madam?
Sure.
All right. Could you tell us a little bit, please, about the plastic waste minimization project? And then we're going to go to Damien. Just let us know if you can hear us after this, please.
All right, so the plastic waste minimization project was a 2-year project that we're just in the midst of wrapping up, and it had roughly 4 components. One that deals with policy development, the management of the project, a pilot project, pilot demonstration, and public education. So we worked on the 4 Ps. For the West, looking back at the project, I think that a replication of the Raytown pilot project, whereby we set up a zone and we trained wardens, and these wardens are from the community, so we are talking about people and partnerships. So in terms of the wardens, they were from the communities, we trained them, they go around to the communities and they collect the plastic. They also are a part of the public education because they do help to sensitize the residents in the community about how to store their plastics, and they have become a very reliable source. So the Raytown pilot project, it's something that, to the NSWMA's credit, they've collected over 20,000 pounds of plastic, and they've also cleaned up the fishing beach. So that is one aspect that can be done. And a part of it is revenue generation, because you have employed the wardens who are earning livelihoods from that project as well. So that is something that can be replicated in Western Jamaica.
Fantastic. Well, bring it on, because we're looking tourism. We're looking to have some new ways of earning.
No.
So if that can be plastic, that would be fantastic for us.
Well,
so
Garnet is right beside me, so it's a good idea, and I'm sure he'll implement it next time we speak.
The Raytown project is something that you say could be replicated, and we choose a zone in the western region here.
Yes.
Again, I told you we're in the boardroom of the man of the moment. So he's going to be way busier after this webinar than he was when he came in. And the incentives, you know, generating employment and interest in the community members, just fantastic.
Well, one of the things, Natasha, that COVID has impacted us exploring is this whole matter of alternative livelihoods, because we do want to take the waste for it not just to end up back in the landfill, but for us to do other things with it. And there are other countries across the world who are using them to make tiles. They are using them to make materials as input for other industries, for energy, etc. So there is money in plastics. There is money in waste, and that is one of the things that we want for Jamaica to know, that from our waste we can earn a living.
One person's trash is another person's treasure.
Right.
Indeed. I'm wondering, Damien, can you hear us, Damien? Are you back with us? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here, and I never left.
I'm so sorry. We left you.
I've always been here.
Anything to add there, or basically would you give us the new developments regarding plastic separation?
Yes, indeed. There's a huge new development that Minister Colonel Charles Jr. and
care of an increase. And we love that. Double. Woo! We're there. And I'd love to say, Dr. King, that at Coral Gardens, Audrey Ten, who is the head of the community there, actually did a beautiful sign and planted all manner of, everybody's seen it on the highway heading out. And in fact, from the bottles that they collected, and they got the money, the old $20, we wish we'd have started a bit later and got the $50 now. They actually use that money to buy some of the plants to put back in to beautify their community. So it's really working. You see how it just goes all the way back around. So Recycle Partners, brilliant. We have a video, gentlemen. Is that video ready of the cages that Recycle Partners have dropped? If you go to the social media for Recycle Partners of Jamaica, you can see all the depots across bring your plastics. Different places in Kingston, Chilitos, which is a restaurant, has a cage. So you can go by any time and with your contained, separated plastics, put them in that cage. It's not you go with your household garbage and they will fish out the plastics. But it's really useful, and these cages are popping up all across Jamaica for persons to come. Do you have that available for us? Yes. Okay, coming up. They're about 4 by 4, and you can either put your bags of bottles in there or just pass by and toss your bottles. It's really easy. You know, depending on how close to the curb they're placed, you can toss them right in from the car. Drive through plastic bottle deposits. Bag it, bring it, bin it. You know, so you can come from your yard with all your things. And these are PE 1 and 2 bottles. So your bleach bottle, your oil, your vinegar, as well as your soda and your drinks. So lovely, Recycle Partners. We really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Charlinda, we're going to go to you, and then we're going to come back to Garnet, who has a great reveal for us. How can persons willing to do an underwater cleanup or even a beach cleanup activity go about doing this?
I can say that it's best to, organize yourselves within maybe a family group, church group, or school clubs and societies. Do that and just get together the necessary things and head out to any close by beach and clean up, right? You can also volunteer with us. We're open to volunteers every time, even through COVID. During COVID right now, we're still open to volunteers. Get your area, get your team, and volunteer, clean up a beach. But also ensure that you call or make contact with WPM to say, hey, I'm at Old Hospital Beach. I'll be cleaning up on Saturday. I'll need for pickup at this area, because what we don't want to happen is you do that effort of cleaning up an area and then the rubbish is just sitting there for days or weeks because they're unaware that excess rubbish will be at this point. So contact the necessary agencies and get your group organized and do your cleanup.
Lovely. I have something to add. And Olivia, what do you have to add?
We also at NEPA have an Adopt a Beach program, and this allows you to adopt any section of the beach or coastline. So it doesn't have to be white sandy shores, any part of the coastline. And once you register with us, we give you a cleanup kit. We give you the guidelines to help you to make some of those contacts. So you can join with your friends and you can clean up that beach at least twice a year. So we are encouraging persons to adopt a beach, and you can visit our website at www.nepa.gov.gm for more information on Adopt a Beach.
Thank you for that public service announcement. And Charlinda's coming with another.
Yes. So a lot of you may be wondering, so where is the Montego Bay Marine Park? How do we contact them? So we are located at Pier 1 Complex in Montego Bay. You can call us 876-952-5619. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're very active on those social media platforms. And just come on out and we'll really sit with you, guide you throughout the whole process of conducting a cleanup. All right?
I do think a lot of times, ladies, people think, oh my gosh, a beach cleanup is a huge event. It's so difficult. It's really not. It starts with you, a couple friends, family members, a club or community, a garbage bag, a pair of gloves, and a location. So Montego Bay Marine Park is here to assist if you're in the West, and then NEPA if you go on their website. And we've done in 2016 here in Montego Bay. I remember the day, September, in 2016, we had an ICC beach cleanup. We're very famous for it in the West. And we had over 1,000 young volunteers early on a Saturday morning cleaning beaches at 8 sites across Montego Bay. So really fantastic. They're fun. I know it's picking up garbage, and some people are, huh?
It doesn't have to be long.
No,
Could be
we do
all
2-hour
disciplines,
events, and then we
yes.
party, we swim, we go on a boat ride, or we make it, the rest of the day is fun and using the clean environment that we have. Wonderful. Great information and advice there. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we're back to you, Garnet, and you have a great reveal for us. I feel like, oh my gosh, here we go. But Garnet is coming to us with some information from his fine company, WPM Waste Management Limited. Go for it.
Thank you, Natasha. I think a part of our responsibility is to make sure that we communicate with the wider public. Our successful management of waste in the West is about 70% communication. I can tell you, about 70% communication. And we find that keeping our citizenry informed is very important. This is why we first started out on Facebook, then we went to IG, and we support our parent company, NSWMA, with the mobile app that is out there that you can find on Google Play Store. And if you use an Apple iStore, good. I am a Android person, so old school. And today we're adding another platform, and that is the WPM website. You can now go on the internet and you will find us, everything about us, our domestic waste collection. You'll see where our career section, there's even a section where you can pay your litter ticket. You will see happenings at our landfill. You'll see the schedule, most importantly, our schedule of our collection. So not only that you can go on Facebook and see it anymore, but you see a full blown out of Sunday to Saturday collection days. You'll see your inspectors, the persons who are responsible for your waste collection, their numbers, their photos. So wherever you see them on road, it's not just a regional manager anymore. You can pick them out and say, that man is responsible, and I'm going to talk to him about my garbage. You will see a number of things that we are doing in communities. So our website promised to be a very interactive one. I'm very excited about it. And just to communicate with our customers out there gives me a great feeling. So it's so, I am so excited today for us to be here.
But Garnet, this big reveal in 2021, are you telling me that we're no longer going to hear the burp, 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 burp on a Sunday morning? Come on. We're going to miss that. We can't go so far into the future and miss the beeping garbage trucks in our residential communities.
Natasha, there are some persons who complain about the beeping and some persons who look forward to the beeping. I give you a story. A lady called me one day to complain, and I was expecting her to say, my garbage did not take off for 3 weeks, because it's a regular thing for 3 weeks, And she was saying, the truck came and I went out there and I saw an empty garbage pan and no blowing. And the man them knows me always have a little something for them. So why they never blow? She was complaining that they did not alert her because she always have a little something for them.
A cool drink.
Yes. So, there are communities that we will do the blowing and there are some that we won't. But, because as I said, communication, we talk with our community association, we know what there are areas that have low hanging wire. Councillor Murray will tell you. And from time to time, we are out there with the councillors, with community members to say, let us fix this so we can communicate. There are areas where cars are parked in close lanes. And what we have done, We have gone out to invite contractors to get smaller units. You'd have seen some of those mini compactors running
Yes.
around town, and they create such a, they make the job so much easier. So we are doing a lot, and as I say, communication. This is why this website is about, because we want to make sure that persons have the medium to communicate with us.
Yes.
We want to hear the challenges so we can fix them as we go along.
Super. Wow. I'm as excited as you. I'm going to get back to office onto that website. But wonderful, Garner. And it's great to see that you're excited and you want to hear from us. Where other companies are, we will tell you when we're ready. You're inviting us as a community to tell you what's happening in those communities. Super. Dr. King, we're back to you, Damien, if you can hear us. Yes, okay, lovely. And I think you clarified the new developments, and we're all registering that increase there. But do you have anything else to say in regards to your separation? Are there any companies? This actual question came in online on Facebook. Are there any companies who do really well with their plastic separation that can be used as an example? Bianca Young asked us that question, and I know, for example, Island Grill, back in 2015, they started using cardboard boxes for their lunches as opposed to the styrofoam, and they were way ahead of the game. So that is in using that. But are there any sample companies, Damien, that are really samples of waste separation that we can hear about?
Well, I think this is an opportunity for me to give
People cuss and say, boy, them a create the problem with the plastic bottles. But then consumers are buying them and flinging them down in the bush. So is it their fault that that's what the consumer does with it? So it's quite encouraging to hear that they're actually part of the solution as well as part of the problem along with the consumers. That's great news. All right, we'll have another quick question. Well, Garnet is a man of the moment with a website. Olivia, in terms of your Raytown and your waste minimization project, where are you going next? Where will your next project be? And we're hoping for the west.
Well, we haven't quite pinned down a particular location for the project, for any future projects. But what we're working on regarding, as we are coming to the end of the plastic waste minimization project, is in terms of sustainability. So we're currently working on our sustainability plan to ensure that whatever we have done and achieved through the projects, that we have those tangible gains and implement them into programs that we have. So we haven't identified a site per se, but we are working certainly on sustainability. And who knows, Western Jamaica is a good candidate.
I love the sound of that. We'll be calling. All right. As we're wrapping up our webinar this morning, which has been really insightful, interesting, and just, the positivity coming from everybody at this table and online is really, you can hear it and feel it. We have a young environmentalist who is going to bring us a poem. So if we could invite you up, please. This is young Kaylin. Come on up. Do you want to stand?
I want to just clear up this area. And
Yes. Or just go your way. And what's your last name? Foot. This is young Kaylin Foot. Oh, I can't tell the last time I saw a school uniform. Oh my gosh. It's a wonderful sight. So Kaylin Foot is going to end our webinar this morning with a piece of poetry. Off you go.
Littering by Kaylin Foot. People, oh people, why must we litter? We litter here, we litter there, we litter everywhere. We know where to put it, but we never put it there. Littering kills fishes in the sea. Littering hurts human beings. Littering carries germs and disease. Littering is bad for you and me. We litter because we're lazy. Can't make it to that bin. But littering is bad. To me, it's a sin. So let's stop the littering. Stop destroying our home. Let's make Jamaica a place where we can all grow old.
Oh my goodness, Kelly, that was wonderful. And I have goosebumps. I felt very told off. And so we should be. You feel it's a sin. It's that dramatic. It's that bad.
Yes.
Lovely job. Really nice. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that with us today.
Natasha,
Taylor.
we're getting requests for her to do it again.
Oh, okay. You're ready to wheel and come again? This is the great encore. Like you've gone off stage and now you're coming back. They call you on again. Are you ready again, Kaylin?
Yes.
Everybody out there, are we ready? I would love to hear that again. All right, off you go.
Littering by Kaylin Foot. People, oh people, why must we litter? We litter here, we litter there, we litter everywhere. We know where to put it, but we never put it there. Littering kills fishes in the sea. Littering hurts human beings. Littering carries germs and disease. Littering is bad for you and me. We litter because we're lazy. Can't make it to that bin. But littering is bad. To me, it's a sin. So let's stop the littering. Stop destroying our home. Let's make Jamaica a place where we can all grow old.
What? Are we still having JCDC and a gold medal? Come in, gold medal. This is just wonderful, Kaylin. Thank you so much. So you wrote it and you just delivered it with such passion and enthusiasm. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
well done. What a great way to end. And this is a youth talking. She says we all want to get old. Some of us are a little older than others. But what a fantastic ending to our webinar. And thank you for the questions that you submitted. I think there were a couple more that we couldn't get to, but we will do so with our social media and try and answer those with the persons present. So on behalf of everyone at the table and who was with us online, Damien King from Recycling Partners of Jamaica, thank you so much for spending the time with us this morning. Garnet Edmondson, Regional Operations Manager, WPM Waste Management Limited, thank you. Olivia Anderson, Manager, Public Education and Corporate Communications at the National Environment and Planning Agency, wonderful to have you. Charlinda Forrester, Education and Outreach Officer of the Montego Bay Marine Park Trust, great having you also. And on behalf of our mayor, it was really wonderful having you at the end, around the corner there, Anthony Murray, Councillor Murray, who, again, I see him and Garnet nodding a lot to things that are coming out of this webinar. We do appreciate your service to Montego Bay. And I'm Natasha Parchment Clark from Training Tree. It's been a pleasure and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you all.